It is April 14th. It is day 85 of the Trump presidency. I thought I was going to sit down here and be pretty somber because I was kind of struggling with some of the headlines today. But actually, I feel all right now. I took my puppy for a walk, and then I came in and played with him and my daughter for a little while. And unfortunately, as a U.S. citizen, there's not a whole lot we can do about it, but let me tell you why I'm upset. I think probably most of you already know, and you're probably feeling the same. So, Trump and the Trump administration is continuing to defy the Supreme Court in regards to Kilmar Abrigo Garcia. El Salvador's president came to the Oval Office today and said a bunch of really crazy, offensive things, and it's very clear that him and Trump are like boys in a creepy, gross human trafficking type of way. But he literally called Kilmar Garcia a terrorist, which is absolutely not true, and then said he will not return him, and said that he would have to smuggle him back into the United States. That's weird because the Trump administration said that they would comply with the Supreme Court, and then tried to say that the Supreme Court order didn't obligate them to actually bring him back. It just obligates them to clear any restrictions that would prevent him from getting back safely. And so why would he need to be smuggled here? That's odd. Yeah, these guys are not good dudes. We are not in good hands. But this also really fully, officially pushes the United States into complete constitutional crisis. And I don't know, what happens next. And I think that of everything that's happened so far, this feels the most ominous to me because it's like, okay. It's sort of like when you hear on the news that a big storm is coming or a tornado, and then you actually hear the tornado siren. And you're like, oh, okay, we have to go get in the basement now. That's how it feels to me. It's a pretty big deal. Because what happens next really determines the future of the United States and potentially the future of some of the rest of the world too. Things are rapidly changing in the rest of the world as a result of everything that's happening here right now. Okay, so let's move forward. Harvard University has rejected Trump's demands to scrub Harvard University of DEI, whatever the fuck that means. We know what that means, but you know what I'm saying. This is risking them losing their funding, which is around $9 billion. It's a big deal. I really appreciate this. And for some reason, when I heard this headline, the very first thing that I thought of was actually Target. So Target's profits are way down. I think their stock is down by over $65 from a previous high of $154 or something. It's down to $92 or something. You'd have to go look up the exact numbers, but they're not doing well. This has been over the course of 10 weeks, essentially since they decided to comply with Trump's DEI crap. And people are boycotting Target, and it's not something you can undo. So I think even though it looks incredibly risky, Harvard is a little bit obligated as a intellectual leader of this country to take this stance and stand up for what is actually right. So I appreciate that this university is taking this stance publicly, because I know it's not easy for people and organizations to do this right now. It's a big deal. It's hard. And every single person that speaks out or stands up for all of us is a hero in my book. Even if maybe some of their motivations are still financial. I would bet that a lot of Harvard's a lot of the students enrolled at Harvard are probably not from the United States, or they're not white. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know the stats. Sorry, I'm covered in my usual cat hair, you know. I don't know the stats, but I'm just taking a wild stab in the dark. So they caught the man who, and charged him, the man who set Josh Shapiro's residence on fire. He has been denied bail. His name is Cody Balmer. You know what? I did not grab his age. I want to say I heard it was like 35, maybe. I'm so sorry. I think my daughter and I might have like a little bit of a bug, by the way, but hopefully, I don't know, hopefully a good night of sleep will get rid of it. But anyways, he was denied bail. He admitted to the police that he had like a homemade Molotov cocktail. He was able to break into the residence and set it on fire, and he had a hammer with him as well, and he told the police that he was planning to like bludgeon Josh Shapiro with a hammer if he had found him. Really scary stuff. His mom said that she had tried to get him help in the past for his mental issues, and obviously that was unsuccessful. He actually turned himself into the police, and then he had to be admitted to the hospital for an unrelated health issue that they're not disclosing. Anyways, it's a very dangerous world out there right now, so please be careful. Like, don't get into like weird road rage contests or like fights with people at the store. Just like stay out of it. There was a 5.2 magnitude earthquake today in San Diego. So I'm just giving my cat a headbutt. It was right along the San Andreas fault line, unfortunately. There's been several earthquakes in that area, I think, over the last couple of weeks, they said. There's no reports of injuries, but obviously everyone is always worried for very understandable reasons about that area. So, you know, keep your eyes peeled. That's like the last thing we need right now, dude. Can you imagine? Anyways, okay. I hate to report this, but a Palestinian green card holder and a student at Columbia named Mohsen Madrawi has been detained by ICE. Take a wild guess what else he was involved in. I mean, just him being Palestinian is enough, obviously, but he has led protests on campus. So he was actually at an interview about his citizenship, a naturalization interview, when ICE came and took him. His lawyers have been trying to get information as to his whereabouts, and they are trying to get like an emergency order to keep him from being like immediately deported. So far, I think they've been unsuccessful. These are extremely scary times, and I kind of hope that other people that are in this situation and watching, I think some people would be irritated with me for saying this, but I feel like everyone should run. And I understand why people would be irritated, because they're like, no, you need to stay strong. You need to not back down. You need to, yada, yada. Like, I get that, but I think this is a really big emergency. And I am really worried about these people's, like, actual lives, to be honest with you. And we'll talk about why in just a moment. Okay, you know what? We're going to skip straight to that story and then we'll finish the others. The reason why I'm so concerned is because Trump was caught on a hot mic talking to the president of El Salvador, and he was telling him that he wants to deport homegrown criminals and U.S. citizens to El Salvador, to the same kind of situation. So he's asking this guy to create bigger facilities, to create more prisons so that there's more space to send U.S. citizens. And I think they're establishing a precedent of what they think a criminal is. Do you think that they're just going to stick to Palestinian protesters? People who've never broken any law and are literally just saying, like, please stop bombing my home country. Do you really believe that they're not going to start coming after anybody that they disagree with? Because I don't. Like, I think we're pretty deep into World War II right now. It's rapidly progressing. So these are the headlines that are like, it's not good, you know? It's getting a little darker in here. Not that it wasn't dark before, but. So Trump is looking into slashing the State Department budget by half, and that would also include U.S. aid, what's left of it, although they're like dismantling it as we speak. So they would take the total budget of those two from $54.4 billion down to $28.4. They would be eliminating the following programs. Any program that promotes democracy. You can't make this up, folks. Almost kind of funny. It's a little too on the nose for me. Okay. So programs that promote democracy, support educational and cultural exchange, obviously. Unless you're white, we don't want it. Is that our new country motto? I'm pretty sure it is. That seems to be the message that the Trump administration is sending. Getting rid of multinational institutions, also ceasing to fight drug trafficking or tackle health challenges abroad, which is really sad. All across the board, everything I just mentioned, but I've seen some headlines. It's hard for me to even. We have so many problems right now. It's like, I don't even know where to start. And it's really sad to think that the United States has been helping so many other countries with various programs like vaccines for malaria. And all of those people just are going without now. I'd like to think that other countries would step in and take over during this mental breakdown that we're having, but I don't know if it can happen fast enough. Again, with the infrastructure, like, is the infrastructure in place in these other countries? Can they pull it together quickly enough? I don't know, but I keep seeing reports of that are saying that people are dying. I also saw a horrible, sad TikTok today about how the food pantries all across this country are basically completely barren and empty. All those programs got shut down. It was a woman crying, saying her clients were calling her, sobbing and asking for food, and there isn't any. So, sorry, it's a lot. You know what I mean? Some days are like, oh God, this is just really, 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 really messed up. Okay. The last two stories that I have for you are a little bit funny / goofy, but I'm not even in a funny, goofy mood, honestly. I'm not. But you know what? We'll take whatever we can get, I guess. So originally, when Doge came on the scene, they were like, we're going to slash waste, fraud, and spending by $2 trillion. Okay? Well, then they had to, I'm sure you've been hearing that they're like adjusting the numbers over and over again because like they're not finding anything. And actually also the Trump administration has pledged to spend way more than it's cutting, and it can't find where it's going to make up all of the tax money that it's giving away to billionaires either. So good luck. So they slashed, this is Bixie. You don't get to see Bixie very often. Here, let's show his face really quick. Dizzy Bixie. He's the fat boy. They slashed it from $2 trillion down to $1 trillion. And then just recently, they had to adjust it again. Guess what it is now that they're projecting to save us? $150 billion. That is like absolutely nothing in their world, by the way. Like literally that's like $20 to like a normal person in terms of the total government budget. And they added 150. How much is it? 150 trillion? I don't know. They added some insane amount to the defense spending in the Pentagon. Go look that up. I don't want to say it's trillion if it's billion, but it's a lot. What they added is a lot. Okay, this is stupid and no one even cares. I mean, I'm sure actually it was probably really cringe. It's just more about the fact that like JD Vance is so naturally cringe. He is like one of the most cringe evoking. It's just coming out of his pores. Like it doesn't matter what he's doing or what he's saying. Like he's never like cool at all. He's just, I don't know. I don't even know how he's managing to be that awkward. It's almost impressive. Anyways, Ohio State visited the White House and JD Vance was holding their football trophy and he like dropped it and broke it. I just feel like it's almost like you would have to try really hard to be that cringe. It's just hard to do. And he does it so naturally and so smoothly. Really, it's impressive. Okay, so my final thoughts are this. If the Supreme Court and if Congress don't do something right now, I feel like the United States might be kind of over. It's a crazy thing to say, but is it though? Like, I think that's a wrap. Still though, it's possible it could escalate into more of like a civil war type of situation. Sorry, I hear weird noises, but it could be my child, my dog, or the neighbors or animals outside. But anyways, I think that this is a watershed moment. This is a really, really big deal. Again, the biggest deal of anything that's happened so far in this presidency, in my opinion. So, fingers crossed that we pull through. I think, right? I don't know. There's this part of me that's like, well, you never know. Sometimes collapse creates space for something so much better. And that's going to sound probably way too hippie for where we're sitting right now. Totally reasonable, totally fair thing to think or say. I think it would be a while before something positive would pop up in its place because it would probably be like burning for a while. You know what I mean? Like, I think if we go into a full and complete collapse right now, because like I'm even seeing some like Trump supporting creators on TikTok saying, Trump is wrong. This is too far. You can't just pull people off the streets and say that they're in a gang. You have to prove it. You can't just take a U.S. citizen out of the country as a mistake and not return them. You got to fix this. So, and I feel like people that are constitutionalists, that are actually constitutionalists, might start freaking out. I don't know. Fingers crossed. You know what I mean? It's a real, all I will say is that like, I have that nervousness that I really haven't had very much of that so far, honestly. Because again, nothing ever surprises me. And I'm not surprised now. I'm just more like bracing for impact. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's coming. I want to close my eyes. Okay, well, I love you guys. I hope that you get some sleep to the best of your abilities. And if you can't sleep, read. Again, I'm such a big fan of the book that I'm reading about the Depression. I was going to see if I could quickly grab my book to show you. For anybody that's new here. Here it is. Okay, this is the book I wrote. It's called The Element by me. And I'll read you the back really quick. You can get this on Amazon, by the way. You can also, there is an Audible version, and her voice is really lovely. It's not me. With school ending, Alwyn is ready to break free from her quiet life among farmers and hunters in the arbor. She aspires to see the rest of the element, the wise air people in Woken, the mysterious water people in Aloris, and the creative fire people in Baka. Alwyn's wish comes true when she is selected to attend the famous element party in an underwater Baka. She never imagined she would have visions pulling her to the middle of a forbidden love affair. Now she and her friends are running for their lives. What if the people they trust are keeping the truth from them? Can they save themselves and their world, or will it be too late? So it's kind of an allegory. I mean, it is an allegory. I'll just tell you that. But it's not about our planet. And it's like nerdy. I would say it's like middle school, high school, fantasy, sci-fi-ish. I mean, technically sci-fi, to be distinguished as sci-fi, it needs to be theoretically possible, so it's not. It's fantasy. But I feel like a lot of people associate the word fantasy with, like, fairies and unicorns. It's not. Anyways, that's my book. Check it out, The Element, on Amazon, if you need something to distract yourself from, you know, our rapidly deteriorating existence. Anyways, I'll see you tomorrow.